On March 12th, Maplewood, a sleepy little town where neighbors still waved from porches, changed forever. That night, Elaine Morris, a 32-year-old nurse beloved by her community, left her brick house on Pine Street for her evening shift at St. Augustine's Clinic. She never arrived. By morning, her co-workers raised the alarm. Police found her car still in the driveway, her uniform neatly folded on a chair, and her phone abandoned on the kitchen counter. It was as if Elaine had stepped out into the night and vanished. At first, investigators believed it was a random act of violence. Maplewood sat along a stretch of highway, and though crime was rare, drifters sometimes passed through. Search parties scoured the woods, volunteers combed the riverbanks, and vigils were held on the courthouse lawn. But as days passed with no trace, unease hardened into dread. Elaine was more than a nurse. She was the heartbeat of Maplewood. She checked on elderly patients after hours, brought pies to the firehouse, and never failed to remember a child's birthday. To lose her this way felt unthinkable. But when detectives pulled back the curtain on her life, the picture of a flawless caregiver began to blur. On her computer, investigators uncovered dozens of emails exchanged with Dr. Thomas Gallagher, a respected physician at the clinic. The correspondence revealed a secret affair that had stretched on for nearly 2 years. Elaine had recently tried to end things, describing his temper and her fear of what he might do. Then a neighbor came forward. On the night Elaine disappeared, she had seen a dark sedan parked outside her home, the same make and model Gallagher drove. Suspicion shifted heavily toward him. He denied everything, claiming he was home with his wife, but his phone records suggested otherwise. Just as the case seemed ready to close in on Gallagher, detectives made a discovery that turned the investigation upside down. Security footage from a gas station outside town showed Elaine's younger brother, Caleb, filling up his truck around the exact time Elaine disappeared. Caleb was known to struggle financially, and Elaine had recently confided that he had been pressuring her for money. When questioned, Caleb's story crumbled. After hours in the interrogation room, he broke. Elaine had found out he was stealing prescription pads from her clinic bag and selling them on the street. She threatened to report him. That night, he came to her house to beg her to keep quiet. Their argument escalated. In a flash of rage and fear, he struck her. Realizing what he had done, Caleb carried her body to his truck, drove to a wooded back road, and buried her in a shallow grave. The truth devastated Maplewood. For weeks, people had whispered about drifters, stalkers, or even the married doctor. No one wanted to believe the crime came from within her own family. At sentencing, Elaine's mother sobbed through her victim impact statement. She spent her life healing others. She should never have needed protection from her own blood. Dr. Gallagher was eventually cleared of involvement but resigned from the clinic in shame. Caleb was sentenced to prison, leaving the family shattered. The town of Maplewood has never been the same. The story of Nurse Elaine Morris became a cautionary tale whispered at church suppers and told to new residents. That sometimes, the darkest danger isn't a stranger passing through, but the person you've loved and trusted all your life.